credit cards or maybe even a home equity loan line of credit, that's revolving debt. So it's revolving. You got compound interest. They recalculate your debt every day. This is where some people fall short if they don't have a credit card. They never use a credit card. Your debt utilization portion of these factors that you can manipulate, and what I try to do with my clients is part of that. So your debt utilization is 30% of your particular credit score, and you need to be able to manipulate those things. All right. So if you've got no credit cards at all, you're missing out on 30% of what your credit score could be. So that helps you with your mix. If you have revolving and you have installment, it helps you with your mix. That's just 10%. But this debt utilization is a huge portion of what your credit score is. And the lower your debt is, the better when it comes to your credit cards. So I'm not advocating for anyone to go out and get a credit card if you can't handle them yourself. If you can't handle them, then you need to get a credit card. There's no reason not to have a credit card at all. So make sure you go out and get one. If you use a service like Credit Karma, if you use somebody like them, they give you a recommendation. They say, hey, we think that you can get approved by this particular place if you go ahead and apply, or they'll give you a percentage. You have an 85% chance of actually getting approved by this place if you get a credit card. But again, if you follow me on Twitter, that's at credit__man. Follow me on Twitter. I always follow back. If you if you follow me there, oftentimes I will just tweet, know thyself. So you got to know what your limitations are. But it's a very good idea. It's helpful for your credit score if you're trying to build it to get a credit card. You don't have to use it every month. You don't have to hold a balance on it, but you need to get a credit card because it's 30% of your score. You also, and this makes it easy for you, you want to keep your balance to 30% of whatever the limit is. So if you get a $500 limit on a credit card, then you don't want to spend more than $150 on there to get the most bang for your buck. All right, so make sure that you go out and you get a credit card, you look into them. If you haven't had a credit card in quite some time, or you're new to getting credit cards, don't worry so much about what the interest rate is. The purpose of you getting this card is not for you to charge it up and have that available that way. The purpose of getting it is for you to help your credit score. So don't worry about the interest rate, especially if you're new to getting a card or you have a lower credit score right now. Don't worry about the interest rate. The first thing that I would look at personally is the annual fee. I don't like paying annual fees. I think the annual fee is ridiculous. I don't care if it's $30, $35, or $75. I think it's ridiculous that I need to pay you money for a card that I don't have any intention on really using on a monthly or daily basis, to pay you money for that every year to have that particular card. So if you can avoid having the annual fee, then that's what I would look at first, not necessarily interest rate. When you get the card and say you do have a high interest rate, it's 24, it's 25%, or what have you, it's to help you establish and build your credit score. When your credit score gets better, then you'll have options. You can go and get a different card, maybe even from the same company. You get a different card with a much lower interest rate, and again, no annual fee. That's what you want to look at, all right? So look, I think that's the formula that I wanted to give you guys today. Oh, let me talk about this a little bit about the credit cards. If your credit score is too low, if you've got a 500 or less, if you've got a 580 or less, the possibilities of you being approved for a regular credit card are slim. So you may have to go get a secured card. A secured card is where you put money down. You put $500 down, that becomes your credit limit, and that's what you get to use, and you make payments on it on a monthly basis. Again, same rules apply. You want to keep that under 30%. If it's $500, then you want to spend no more than $150. Sometimes on these secured cards, you put $500 down, they will give you a credit limit of $600, or maybe they'll give you a credit limit of $750. Same rules apply. If you get a $750 credit limit, then you can't spend more than $225 on that particular card. The point is not for you to get it so you can go and run it up. The point is to help you move your credit score in a positive direction. All right, you guys, so let me recap real quick. Pay on time. That's right. Make sure you don't go out, apply all willy-nilly everywhere and get those hard inquiries on your credit report. Your average length of history, because I'm going to stop calling it length of history like they do. Your average length of history, how you can positively affect that. Go and get yourself an authorized user on somebody's account. Then also your mix, make sure you have revolving as well as some installment loans too. That's going to help you out. And your debt utilization. We didn't go into it in painstaking detail today about your debt utilization, but I have in previous shows. Go back and listen to those shows. And again, thank each and every one of you guys for coming in and listening and sharing the show. I also want to give these last two shout outs. I got to give a shout out to D Johnson. D celebrates a birthday coming up this week. And I want to give a shout out to Oscar Banks. Oscar is going to be celebrating a birthday this week as well. So thank you guys again for coming in and listening to the 800 Credit Score Man show. Send me your questions, 800 Credit Score Man at gmail.com. Send me your questions, and maybe you can become a part of the 800 Credit Score Man show family as well by being on the question of the day. Again, thank you for coming in and listening. You know how I got to do before I get out of here. Kobe, Cameron, and Carter, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm out.